Hello, Valerie. Could you give us a general overview of the hotel industry in Western and Southern Europe? Do you think the situation has been affected by the uncertain economic climate?
Hi, Javier. And today, what we are noticing is that the Western European hotel industry is rather scattered. So we see strong business and strong opportunities, strong demand in Spain. But parallelly, we're equally confronted by a slowdown in the business in Germany. And that kind of dynamic we see throughout the region. We expect this to continue for the next few months and the few years to come, because the world and the geopolitical macroeconomic climate is not the most stable today. We see unrest in the Middle East, we see unrest in Ukraine and Russia. Equally, we see a big impact of the American economy and its current dynamics on our European economy. So those uncertainties, which are very much alive today, will continue to impact our industry, our demand, and our supply. Nevertheless, this gives us a lot of opportunities, and we definitely see the opportunities in Iberia, where demand stays strong, and where we have both opportunities in leisure and business destinations.
Gonzalo, regarding the economic climate, has this had any effect on the Iberian Peninsula?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's more very aligned with what just Valerie said. I mean, at the end of the day, this climate is bringing both challenges and opportunities. If we look at Spain, I mean, international arrivals still remain very robust. And we realize that there is a big and very growing appetite for high quality branded accommodations beyond traditional urban centers. And if you look at Portugal, on the other hand, it continues to position itself like a more premium lifestyle and resort destination. And in Portugal, the difference with Spain, I would say, it's attracting long-stay travelers and digital nomads alike.
Valerie, let's talk about the latest developments in the Radisson Group. Could you confirm that your plans to expand Radisson have gone ahead as planned despite the economic climate?
Couldn't agree more. So since we announced the revised development strategy in 2018, together with our revised brand architecture, introducing Radisson Collection, introducing Radisson, Price Hotel or Price by Radisson, as well as revamping Radisson Red, we have seen a tremendous growth increase in the European market. Because that revised brand infrastructure came with a larger development team, and equally so provided us with capital resources and the ability to do leases that we did not have before. So when we look today at what we have created in Italy, what we have done in Spain, what we have done in Portugal, what we are currently doing in France is something which is 100% in line with the plan. It also allowed us to really create brand awareness and brand equity with the type of assets that we have added. So we really focused on destinations with high RevPAR opportunity and high EBITDA, with the opportunity to create high EBITDA contributions. I'm thinking Milan, Rome, Venice. We will be opening Florence later this year, but equally the Radisson Red Madrid, which we opened during the COVID period. And finding that balance between those city destinations and leisure opportunities like Radisson Blu Lanzarote, but equally the Radisson Individuals in Sardinia. There are so many new additions that we are very pleased with how development is evolving. But this is not only thanks to that revival or that revised brand architecture, but equally due to the strong responsiveness of the organization to those macroeconomic changes. We have now introduced the brand to the UK and Ireland. We've introduced the brand to Poland. We opened the first Price by Radisson in Belgium. So a lot has been done also throughout those 7 years as a very relevant and adequate response to what was happening in the market.
Moving forward, Gonzalo, could you tell us how you see the hotel market in Spain at the moment from the investor's point of view and also from the traveler's point of view?
Yes, so from an investor's point of view, Spain obviously remains to be in the top list, and for obvious reasons, but mainly because of the high tourist volume, the reach and the diversified regions that this country has, a very solid infrastructure and connectivities. And I would say that Balearic and Canary Islands, together with Madrid, Barcelona, and Malaga, remain the most attractive cities to be investing. But there's also a growing trend to continue looking and investing in secondary cities. I don't like to say secondary cities, but let's say less relevant for historically, from an historical point of view, which is Seville, Valencia, Bilbao, etc., where let's say that the competition traditionally is less intense, but the tourism infrastructure is expanding rapidly. And this is mainly, in my opinion, it's supported by a very strong operational performance. If you look at the RevPAR evolution 2024 compared to 2019, pre-COVID, the RevPAR has grown almost 40%. And this in combination with a very promising project pipeline in 2025, we are expecting an increase in the activity and the investment specifically from the major investors, now that the financing cost is adjusting downwards and so on. And if you ask me about the travelers, from a traveler's point of view, I would say that there is two profiles of travelers. No, the travelers that no longer are just looking for a place basically to sleep. Is this kind of traveler that it's a little bit more sophisticated. They want an experience, authenticity. They want a more personalized service, local gastronomy, blah, 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 and also sustainability. But we have the other one, which is the one who is being affected by the increase in the high, let's say, room prices. And this type of traveler, which is more budget driven and cannot afford to stay, let's say, in AAA locations, it's been deviating his capabilities and interest on more secondary locations in gateway cities or to secondary cities. And this is the way I see how it's performing.
Talking a little bit more about investments, Valerie, are we going to see more Radisson brands in the future? Do you think the variety of the 10 brands that Radisson offer has aided expansion? Which countries are attractive for opening new hotels? You just talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the brand architecture and the number of brands we have 10 hotel brands, and this will stay as such in the forthcoming months and years. We truly believe in having a very simplified structure in a one solution for every opportunity instead of having 3 or 4. We don't want to join the trend of launching new brands every so many months, but just to have one relevant solution to each problem. And especially now with the recent strategic cooperation between PPHE, allowing us to selectively develop and operate the Art Hotel brand across EMEA and APAC, gives us a very relevant answer to the new demand for lifestyle premium hotel concepts. Art Hotel recently opened 2 hotels in London, and the latest opening has been in Rome, which only occurred in March of this year. So we believe that this is a very powerful brand, a very relevant concept to become strategically competing with that segment. And otherwise, from Price by Radisson to Radisson Collection, we believe that we have a very strong brand architecture without confusing both our owners or our guests.
We have talked about the pandemic. Gonzalo, with reference to travelers, do you think the increase in consumers after the pandemic will continue to rise? I mean, are clients more demanding now than before the pandemic?
Starting from your second question, yes, of course, they pay more attention to health, to safety, to the quality of the experience overall. and obviously they're more digital convenience, I would say, and it's the demanding is changing. With regards to your first question, it's a very tricky one. Listen, I think and I do believe the demand will continue to rise, no doubt. Maybe in a more moderate rhythm, but I think the people has realized that what is the value of traveling, and it has become like a priority for them.
Yeah.
The question is for how long? I don't know. We are in a party time. We are in that party time that there is no concerns. Young people, they only want to travel. Everybody wants to experience travel. For how long? I don't know. But it smells, and it reminds me. It's a personal view. It reminds me to 2006, 2007, 2008. Where everything was perfect, people was living life, consuming, investing. Let's see. It's a concerning moment to me.
Let's hope the party time will last a few years more. The next question, Valerie, I would like to ask you about an important aspect of society. Baby boomers, they as well want to live life with intensity. For example, are now retiring with plenty of money, time, good health, and they are seasonal travelers. Do you see a potential for growth with this type of customer, and how can you adapt to their necessities?
Well, the baby boomers, they live longer and they live better. Do we need to adapt to saying we need to cater for an older clientele? I find it a good question, and I want to answer with an open answer. I think maybe. I don't think the baby boomer necessarily is looking to be treated differently. They feel young at heart, they feel young at mind, their health is only improving, they are living longer, they're living better, like I said before. So yes, they are less dependent on school holidays, they have less seasonality, they play golf, so for me it's finding that solid, I would say, balance between leisure and urban destinations. I also believe that those hotels that we see popping up now, like urban resorts, are perfect for the baby boomer demand. But then we also have to be mindful of the fact that after the baby boomers, we are again confronted with a different generation and with a smaller population. So from my point of view, it's about adapting our sales and marketing activities to a less seasonal activity and making sure that we capture them in shoulder seasons. Do we need to adapt our products and our concepts? No, because they're very young in mind and heart.
Yeah. My last question, Valerie. Recent studies on Google and TripAdvisor reviews show that the human touch improves customer satisfaction much more than the hotel facilities. My point is, how do you attract the best professionals to your company?
Well, we pursue our company and our group saying we have 3 assets: our brands, our owners, and our people. And we truly take care of talent. So it's a matter of allowing them to focus on that personal relationship, focusing on the guest. And how can we establish that is by introducing the relevant technology into our operating model, so that work becomes less demanding on reporting and back of house tasks, and that there is more time to engage with guests and front of house tasks. And the hospitality industry typically has been slow on integrating technology into the business model. And with AI today, you have a tremendous opportunity. Making life easier when it comes to answering standard questions.
So thank you very much, Valerie and Gonzalo, for your time and for joining us today, and have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Xavier.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.